Hi everyone, after listening to your suggestion and feedback, Lian have came out with another new product known as the TL or TL-LCD Wireless 120. I'd like to thank Lian to have provided this unit for me to share with you guys, and to Block Soda to have done the arrangement on the delivery. This Unifans comes in 2 different colors and 4 different variants. You can either choose the black or white, and it does come with triple pack or single pack, be it the reverse blade or the normal blade. In a triple pack, these are all the accessories that comes with it, be it you choose the black or the white color fans, and also be it whether is it a TL or a TL LCD, reverse or normal blade. And you're provided with a thank you card, the instruction manual, the 3 fans, 3 bags of screws, where each package have 4 screws, which is meant for you to mount your fan to your case. A SATA to 3 splitter 4-pin PWM connector to supply power. A receiver. Now, do take note, these are the TL-120 wireless, which has a receiver and the other end with 1 connector. If you are selecting a triple pack with the LCD, the receiver will be slightly different, where you have one which is 4-pin PWM fan connector, and the other one is the USB connector. Now, next you'll be provided with the controller, and this controller you can make use of this to control the TL LCD or the TL wireless. And not forgetting that previously you had the SL wireless or the SL LCD wireless, you can make use of this controller too. And inside this controller, it has all this instruction that you might need to follow, and of course a cable specifically for the controller, followed by 3 packets of frame cover, or should I say protection, for the side of the fans, which has the infinity mirror frame. Now, as for the single pack, it's pretty straightforward. You'll be provided with the fan, with the receiver, the bag of screws, and the instruction manual. Do note, when you purchase a single pack, be it as mentioned TL or TL LCD, the normal or the reverse, be it black or white, it does not come with a controller. You will have to purchase that separately, which is available. The construction of the TL and the TL LCD wireless, I'll start off with the TL wireless, and I'll bring the previous version, which is the SL120, to do a comparison. First of all, the fan is built very sturdy, it doesn't wobble, and there are rubber grommets provided on each side, where you can remove this rubber tab or cover. When you place your screws to mount in your case or the radiator, you can use this to cover back once you're done with the screws, giving it a very pleasing aesthetic, just like the previous SL120. See, it's of the same structure, but the thing is that they use different material. And why do I say so? At the center of this blade, take a look, this is a chrome finish, a black chrome finish, a very nice touch. Else for the previous, it's actually a silver chrome, and they have enhanced on the blade. This is a 9-blader, where it's making use of the material LCP, which is the liquid crystal polymer, as compared to the previous version, which is the SL wireless. And this does not provide very good airflow. I mean, it's okay for case airflow, but not to the radiator. But for this, well, up the level. Thanks, Lenny, to have actually listened to us. This fans here, in fact, you can make use of it as a radiator fan for static pressure and also for airflow. In fact, I've tested out. In fact, this is like 2 times the pressure, or should I say 2.5 times the pressure of the previous SL wireless. Very strong pull, I like it. Now, as for the design of the diffusion, right, of the ARGB, as you can see here, right, it's much narrower compared to the SL120. Okay, let me just hold this. See? It's more elegant and elite look. I do like the SL120, but it's just that it's kind of wide. So with this elite lines, right, you will make the fan stand out a lot. And for the side, right, it's equivalent to the SL wireless. It's just that instead of having this frame over here, right, with the metal casting, you have the infinity mirror. Nice touch. Now, as for the TL LCD, I don't have to say, structure is very sturdy. Okay, similar to the previous successor, or should I say not successor, the SL120 wireless. It's about the same. In fact, the whole construction is of the same. Just like the LCD, which is actually 1.6 inch, that has a pixel resolution of 400 by 400, and the blade is equal to this. And they do produce very strong airflow. So you can use this as a radiator fan or a case fan, not an issue. And the only difference between this and this, right, as in like the SL LCD, again, are the diffusion of the ARGB, where this you have the infinity mirror. Nice touch. Now for the locking mechanism, it's pretty straightforward. As you can see, I can just remove as and when I want to. But when you are doing the daisy chain between fan to fan, right, make sure that the direction of the fans are of the correct orientation. When the blade is facing you, make sure the blade is facing you. Do not daisy chain it this way, okay? Where you have no frame and the frame. This is incorrect. So make sure it's all in one direction. Same applies to the TL LCD. And also, if you are placing this in the radiator and you find that these are blocking the studs, the interconnector studs, you can remove them. See, twist this and take it out. Now when you do this, right, make sure you do not lose this, right? Keep this safe, because in the event if you want to make use of the fans with this studs, right, you're going to plug this back to do the daisy chain. If you lose this, right, then probably you will need to raise a RMA or a request form to Lian. It depends on whether they able to offer you this. But I would say that it is your due diligence. Make sure you keep this studs safe and sound. So the next time when you want to use it, right, you can just plug it. Now in this section, I'd like everyone to pay very much close attention of what I got to say, because I got numerous of repetition question again and again. How many fans can I connect to one port or one channel? Now I'm going to take it back to the past, where I introduce you to the control box before the wireless control. Okay, so relate this with this, but of a different type of connection. Now as you know, in the past, this box is pretty big, and each channel, as you can see over here, or each port, there are a total of 4, okay, on the old technology, whereby one port is catered up to max 4 fans or even 3 fans, depend on the specification of the fan. So take note, 1 port or 1 channel each. Now switching from the old technology to the new technology, this does not have any port, but it contains max to 10 channel. That means to say there are a total of 10. Imagine this is actually built in the old method, where the old method have only 4 ports, but this have 10. So imagine that it has 10 ports, as in like 5 port, 5 port, 10 ports, and each port or each channel allows you to connect up to 3 to 4 fans. Okay, got this concept correct? Now, as mentioned to you, this wireless controller has 10 channel, and each channel you can connect up to 3 or 4 fans, depend on specification. And these are the configuration. If you are only using the TL without the LCD, I repeat, the TL without the LCD, you can connect up to 4 fans in a daisy chain to 1 channel. Okay, I repeat, 4 fans to 1 channel, and not 16 fans to 1 channel. Okay, a lot misunderstood that this 10 channel wireless controller, right, you can set up to a max of 16 fans, and they start daisy chain together 16 fans and to connect to one channel, which is incorrect. There will be not enough power to supply to your fans and to project the receiver, or should I say to power up the receiver. So do not do that. So I repeat that again. 1 channel to 4 TL non-LCD fans. Okay, max up to 4. Else, if you are using the TL LCD, anything that has a LCD, max is 3 fans. Okay, to 1 channel. If you decided to mix and match, as in like having the TL and the LCD together, max you can do up to 2 TL and 2 TL LCD to 1 channel. Alright, now probably when I say that, hey, this can do 4, how come the other can't? Well, based on the fact that, as mentioned to you, right, for 3 LCD, this consumes much more power. That's why you can only cater 3 fans to 1 channel. Else, if you to take this off, right, it lessen down the power. And for the TL without the LCD, it consumes less power. That's why you can daisy chain up to 2 TL and 2 TL LCD to 1 channel. Or you can interpret as this 2 without the LCD is drawing the power of 1 LCD. Simple as that. Now another question regarding about the mix and match, which I often get. As I mentioned, so long the order is 2 non-LCD and 2 LCD, it doesn't matter where you place it. Okay, so long as you keep in this formation, as in like the capability, you can place your fans this way, as in like 2 non-LCD and 2 LCD. Or you can even place this like this, where you have the middle of 2 LCD and the outer 2 non-LCD. Okay, or you can do it which is the other way around. It's up to you. Where you have the center, where you have the center, okay, I'm not going to click. Where you have the center 2 non-LCD and the outer 2 LCD, or the previous configuration this way. Okay, non-LCD and the LCD, or you can swap. All these configurations are possible, so long you bear in mind that you have 2 non-LCD and 2 LCD to 1 channel. I've shown you that on the TL you can do a mix and match, and some of you might have this funky idea, which this I would warn you in advance. Please do not do this. I will emphasize this again. Please do not do this. You might have ideas as in like making use of the past SL wireless to the TL or the TL LCD. Now, yes, you can plug, but it's not advisable to do so. The alignment is out. And also another thing, for the receiver, right, I tried on this, okay, with the receiver. Take a look at what happened. Okay, not too sure you can see. The moment when I plug this in and power up, it burned. So I emphasize this to you guys. Never to have funky ideas, as in like to mix and match of the SL wireless to the TL wireless, be it the TL LCD or the TL with the SL or the SL LCD. Do not do this. They are of separate entities. So make sure if you are using SL wireless or SL wireless, be the with the LCD or not the LCD. Same goes with the TL. Okay, if you're going to mix and match, see what's going to happen. I've answered your questions in advance. Do not do this. Your receiver will burn. Okay, you wouldn't want to endanger your system with this kind of funky patterns and such. Please do not do this. Detail specs are on my right. Be it whether you're using the normal or the reverse plate, black or white, the TL or the TL LCD, all this have a current of 12 volt DC. And do take note that during operation time, it might operate up to 13.3 volt DC. And all these are fluid dynamic bearings. Now, for the RPM, starting off with the TL without the LCD, it has a minimum RPM of 200 and a max RPM of 2600. Now, that is for the normal blade. But if you were to get the reverse blade, the minimum is the same, but the max will be at 2300 RPM. Else, for the TL LCD, be it the normal or the reverse blade, it has a minimum RPM of 350 and a max RPM of 1900. Now, as for the measurement, be it the TL or the TL LCD, these are no standard 120mm fans, whereby at the side where you see the ARGB lines, or should I say the LED diffusion, the measurement from here to here is 124mm. From here to here is at 120mm. And the thickness of the fan is of 28mm. For the connection, starting off with the wireless controller, there's two methods to connect and to power up this controller. First method, provided with the special cable meant for the controller with one end of a proprietary connector, connect this to the end of the controller. There's only one direction, do not force it. If you can't push this plug in, right, turn. Okay, I know this is correct. So when you do this, right, make sure that it sits in properly. Where you can see, right, my two fingernail at each side pushing this in. So this is done. On this end, you have the 9-pin USB connector and the 4-pin PWM fan connector. For the USB connector, plug it to your motherboard 2.0 socket. And what this does is, when you're using L Connect 3, right, it will supply all the signal, as in like all the effects that you've done, right, you go to this controller. And this controller will transmit to your fan's receiver, which I'm going to show you later. Not only this USB connector is to supply power to the controller. Next will be this 4-pin PWM fan connector. Now pay close attention. You can connect to either of the fan headers on your motherboard. Take for example, this is CPU fan 1, okay? I know it's at the top, but take for example. So when you plug to this, right, you can use L Connect to bypass so that you can make use of the motherboard fan curve. But when you're doing that, right, imagine that you have 10 channels of fans. It's like each channel with 3 fans. You can't control them individually if you sync up the fan curve with your motherboard, because it's only taking instruction from one header. If you want to control all the different channels with different RPMs and such on each channel, right, do not synchronize with the motherboard. Instead, make use of the L Connect 3 application. Now, the second method, instead of doing this, right, oh, by the way, when you do this, right, you can hide this inside the case. The second method, if you are to make use of this USB connector, you can plug directly to the rear of your motherboard or even your front I/O. But I don't think you want to plug it to the front I/O. You will choose to plug this at the rear. And when you're plugging this to the rear, right, make use of version 3 USB port, Type A port, and not version 2. Reason being, right, for version 2, right, it has a limitation on the ports itself, as in like the power. So select any of the version 3, just connect this in. And once you've done this, right, see, it will power up and you'll be able to control your fan's RPM and ARGB effect. But when you're doing this kind of connection, take note, you can't bypass it and to select the fan connection on your motherboard, or should I say the fan curve on your motherboard. And don't have funky ideas as in like, you know, to make use of this cable, right, to connect to the RPM if you want to bypass. I mean, that will work, but it's rather clumsy as your cables will be sticking out. So at all times, I would advise make use of the L-Connect 3 application to control both ARGB and the RPM of your fans. Now, when you're connecting this, right, you say that, oh my god, Cleo, if I'm going to do this, right, my case is on my desk. That means to say I got to push my case towards the front to give clearance to the back based on this fact that this is sticking out. Well, there is a solution whereby in my SL wireless content, right, I'm introducing this USB extension. So what you can do is, okay, just gonna remove this, plug this extension, one end which is to your USB, okay, then the other end, plug the wireless controller to this extension, and you can route this cable in, probably hidden at the back. You can place this inside the case, so this is not a hindrance on the clearance at the back. Now, as for the fan connection, okay, starting off with the TL without the LCD, you'll be provided with a receiver end, and this receiver end only has one cable because it does not have any LCD. So plug this to the end. There's only one direction where you can see this is actually, okay, probably I can do this, this is easier. As you can see, right, this lock here is wider, this lock here is narrower. So follow the size on the fan itself and just clip it in. And this is the receiver. This is done. And you find that the fan wires, right, it's kind of like dangling on the wrong direction, as in like probably if you place the fan this way, right, okay, facing you, and this wire is a hindrance. You can remove this cap. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, and you can switch this over to the other direction. Okay, let me get it in. Then cover the cap. That's it. Now, as for the connection, right, you will only need to plug this 4-pin PWM connector. Now, take note, this is just powering up the fan. It does not give signal as in a RPM or such. So take note on this. Plug this to any of the fan headers, not a problem. Just to supply power. But I strongly advise that do not plug directly to the motherboard. Instead, have clean power supply to your fans. Instead of plugging this to the motherboard itself, right? For the triple pack, it does provide this cable, which has one end SATA and the other end with a splitter, which are standard additional socket for your fans. Plug this directly to your motherboard SATA cable. Okay, by the way, this is actually my PSU. So plug to your PSU SATA connector to give clean power to power up your fans. So if you have like 3 channels of fans, right, make use of this. Okay, you can plug 3 channels. So for this, right, I'll just plug this in, giving it a clean power. Then with the controller, right, you can straightaway control the ARGB and the ARGB and the RPM of the fans. As for TL LCD, it's a different play. The receiver is slightly different, whereby you have additional plug. Okay, by the way, this is the receiver. This is the additional plug. You have a additional 9-pin USB connector besides the 4-pin PWM fan connector. Again, this is to supply power to the fans, as in like the fan blade. So again, as I show you, it's the same method. The connection is the same, where you have the lock, which is wider and narrower. So we just fit it in and to connect. This is done. And if you want the cable to the other side, same thing, you can remove the cap and to place it over the other side. And for this end, again, as mentioned, on the 4-pin PWM, which is supplying only power to the fans itself, I would advise you to connect to the splitter, which I mentioned earlier, because this splitter, right, is direct power from your PSU to the fan. So it's much more powerful in providing current instead of using your motherboard fan. And also another thing is that if you use this, right, instead of the motherboard, right, the current will not be drawn off from your motherboard. In fact, it will supply to the rest. In fact, it's like, you know, giving ample power to your motherboard. So my take, my opinion, don't use the fan headers to supply power to the fan. Instead, make use of the SATA to the splitter. So this is done. You power up. Next thing is, there is a connector, which I say is additional, which is the USB. Plug this to your USB 2 socket on your motherboard. And what this does is, it not only supply power to the LCD, but also transmitting signal to your LCD. Okay, so this is the function of it. And sometimes you might feel that you have purchased a lot of LCD and there's not enough USB connector over here on your motherboard. What do? You can purchase a USB internal hub. This is a NZXT version 3.0 internal hub that has a power source which is connected directly to your PSU SATA connector. And why I emphasize to make use of this kind of internal hub that has a power supply, that has a power supplied to the unit itself, because you want consistency on connection. You might choose splitters, as in like without this, it's just a USB splitter, but you will hog more power from your motherboard, and sometimes it's not stable. So take note on this. In the event if you intend to do a mix and match with the TL LCD with the TL, make sure the receiver that you connect to, right, has 2 connection points at the end, which is of the USB and the 4-pin PWM fan header, or should I say connector. Reason being, right, you have the TL to control, so you will need this. So make sure the receiver is with 2 connector if you do mix and match. When you hook up all the fans, be it the TL LCD or the TL, to your system, and when you boot up your system, this is what you're gonna see on the fans itself. All the ARGB areas, inclusive of the infinity mirror, these are all beamed in white, which is normal. Now on L-Connect3 application itself in Windows, this is what you're gonna see. Okay, all the stats and such. Now this is a floating dashboard, whereby you can set it to transparent if you want to, or you can set whatever you want to show. Take for example, I want to do CPU. See, it will show you the CPU temperature. Now what is needed is just to go to the top right hand corner where you see this, just click on it and click on add, and you can select whatever you want to show, or you can totally close this. The first thing before you play with the L-Connect application, I would advise you to head to the device manager, whereby you scroll down and see this universal serial bus devices. Make sure all your TL LCD and the TL fans are populated over here. These are all the receivers, just for information. Okay, so once this is listed, right, you can start playing with the L-Connect tree. But as mentioned to you, all this are in white right now, so you need to connect this device to the L-Connect application. Just head down to settings, go to device, and click on sync. Okay, and this will show up, and you have to link them individually, starting from the LCD at the top. When you click on this, right, see there's some changes on the TL LCD, and if you want to link up the second one, which is the TL without the LCD, you just click here. See, it will link up. The response is very fast. And in the event, if you plug a lot of fans and you want to indicate which is connected to which, you see the L-Connect tree application over here. There are some lights over here. If you click on this, see, this shows that, oh, this is the LCD. If you click on the bottom part, see, it will indicate, telling you that which fans you are selecting, so you know which is which. And why do we need to do this? Take for example, this is the top fans, the TL LCD. So if you click this, oh, I know this is the top fan. You can change this to top fan. Okay, I just type top, so you indicate top. Let's say at the bottom, okay, when you click on there, it will notify. You can change this to bottom. So this is quite simple. Once you link up everything, right, you can start playing with the profile. Take for example, for the fan and pump, see, select to the one that you needed. See, when I've changed the naming convention, right, this is the top, this is the bottom. Okay, probably right now it's actually pretty loud. I will set this to quiet. Okay, to tone down. See, the RPM will tone down accordingly to what you have selected. If you want to set the bottom fans to higher RPM and such, right, you can, not a problem. All is needed is just to toggle over here. Let's say I want to have a standard. Okay, and I'll apply. See, this will ramp up. Okay, right now it's too noisy. I'll just keep quiet. Now you can also do custom curves as you want. Set the percentage of the curve, I mean the fans itself on, I mean set the RPM that you want to run on the temperature as you want, then you apply. So, or you can make use of the graph to, you know, go up and down and such. But right now I'm just going to keep it at silence to all. Okay, make sure both are silenced, so it will be not be so noisy. I will not go in depth on this. Next, what you can play with is the effect on the fans on the ARGB, which I will be doing this. See, it will show you all this, what to highlight and such. So you can just click on OK. Now, for example, let's say I want to control the bottom fans, the ARGB effects. I can just select this. Okay, and of course you have here, you can change whatever you want to select. Let's say static. See, it went to static. Okay, this is static. Of course you have to hit apply. Then you can change color. Let's say all these are all different colors right now. In fact, the orientation is slightly wrong because it's like, you know, green. This is green, it should be the other way around. But it doesn't matter, so I'm just telling you that you are able to set. So if I were to set the colors, let's say the third one, right, to red, for example. Oops, not this, this. And then apply. See, it becomes red. Oops. And if I want to set to other patterns, I can do that. See, it will follow. The response is very responsive. In fact, they may have done a lot of improvement on their L-Connect application. And the more I use it, the more I like it. Some of you might not like it based on the fact that it's giving you problems because you are mixing and matching with the ARGB ecosystem, okay, which I'm going to talk about it later. Now, other things that you can do, right, besides this, right, besides clicking on the fan profile, you can click over here too, a shortcut so that you can select whatever profile that you want the fan to run. So take for example, right now it's at idle, so I were to set it to high. Take for example, when I apply, take a look at the RPM. See, it goes up. So this is actually one of the shortcuts that you can do. I'm just going to set it quiet. Back to quiet. Now, for the TL LCD, now this is more interesting. Okay, taking a look at the top. There is additional function besides the ARGB, just to show you. If you click on the ARGB lines over here, right, on the L-Connect tree, right, you can start to play with all the different settings. Okay. Oh, I should set to top. Sorry, my bad. Okay, I'm going to set this to static so that it's not so, confusing, and setting this color to red. And I'll apply. Okay, this I'll leave it, and of course you can control the brightness if you want to. Now, selecting the top, which is the LCD over here, there are more things to play with besides the fan profile, besides the ARGB. Okay, just an illustration, the ARGB, I can set. See, set it. It will follow. Let's say I want all this in green. I'll just Oh, this is green. Sorry about this. So when I click on apply, right, see, all these are in green. And as for the fan profile, again, you can set like high. See, it will just go high. Okay, it's catching up. Based on the fact that I placed the fan on the ground, that's why the RPM is catching, but it definitely will change. Right now, I'm just going to click to quiet. Okay, you will just ramp down. Now next is actually the LCD, which a lot of you will like to play with. Okay, now as a setting, right, I'll click on one, and to set, probably I will say sensor. So it's this. So I know this is this. So what you can do is actually to change this to this direction. See, by just clicking this, I know that this is this, this is this, and this is this. Okay, next, you can play with other stuff like loading the dynamic GIF or the video that you have, but make sure your video does not exceed more than 3 minutes. In fact, it's best to keep it at 1 minute so that your system resources, right, will not hop on to your PC. And of course, you can do animation if you want to. Let's say I want to do this. See, it animates. If I select to the last one, again, I can do animation if I want to. See, another animation. And each and individual of this, right, you can turn. See, it's turning. Same goes to this. And this. One of my thoughts about this TL and TL LCD fans from Lian, I would say that there are great improvement on this series, especially with the strength of the airflow. All these are constructed nicely. Now for the TL LCD as compared to the SL LCD, right, they have the same fan structure, and it does provide sufficient air pressure to the radiator or even case fans. But the improvement seriously made are on the TL, whereby you have weakness is actually a 9-blader, and it's making use of liquid crystal polymer. And for your information, any fans that make use of LCP, which is the liquid crystal polymer, you need to align the rotor properly. And when you align it properly, right, you will have much more static pressure or much more airflow. So with this say, right, this TL fans over here, they are not only meant for case fans, but also for radiators, as in like a liquid AIO. Another thing I like to emphasize, which is the diffusion on the ARGB. It's always top notch with the ME fans, as you can see over here, inclusive of the infinity mirror. Nice touch. Now, another big improvement when I play with the L-Connect 3 application, right? In fact, it's much more smoother and it's more responsive. And even if I reboot the system, so long you supply sufficient power to the fans and the LCD. And take note, I've always emphasized, make use of the splitter to power up all these fans. Give it a clean current rather than to plug the power source right directly from your fan headers on your motherboard. So make use of that draw current directly from your PSU to the fans. This will ensure full operation and smooth operation. So this is one. Now, I need to get off this from my chest, because a lot of you have mentioned to me and to send comment and to send email and such, hey, these are supposed to be wireless. How come there are so many wired? I mean, I'm so sorry to say this is common sense. Whatever electronic products, right, you will need a power source. So that's why you have the cable. And what Lian has been trying to convey wireless is in fact the controller. Now, you know that the wireless controller can go up to 10 channel, and this 10 channel each can supply up to 3 to 4 fans, right? Imagine that this is not wireless and you're back to the old days where you have this big box where one port supply 3 to 4 fans. So imagine that you need 9 sets of 3 fans. How many boxes will you be getting? You'll be getting 3. Else for this, right, it's just one piece of wireless controller that you can plug 9 channels, or should I say 9 ports, comparable to the old device, the box. So with this 3, right, instead of having the 3 boxes, right, with all the cables and such, this is in a mess. So that is what they may have been trying to say, the wireless controller, where you can control up to 10 channel. Okay, another thing you guys need to take note. I have illustrated to you that yes, you can mix and match with the TL series, but do not mix your SL series together with the TL series. As I've shown you, it blew up my receiver. So don't commit the same mistake as I do. I was so curious, but lucky enough that I spotted it fast when I smell smoke. Okay, where the test is actually done outside of the case, lucky me. So don't commit that mistake. If you want to play the Unifans, right, make sure they are of the same family. TL with the TL wireless, SL with the SL wireless, be it the LCD or the non-LCD. So take note on this. Alright, with this said, I'd like to thank Lian to have provided this unit for me to share with you guys, and to Block Soda to have done the arrangement on the delivery. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. If you like my content, do remember to subscribe and to click on the notification bell button. Till then, take care, goodbye, see ya.